got a good turnout here in the USRC Cup Series. If you guys want to do some racing with us, please hook up at United Sim Racing. Other than that, we're getting geared up and ready to do 200 laps at Dover as the 24 Frank DiMaggio is going to bring them out to the green flag with Sean Hughes on the outside and that 13 DC Solar Chevrolet. It looks like Sean almost jumped it. And Sean, did Sean get the pole or something and like controlled that start?
No,
Wow.
he didn't.
13 got a great jump right there. If this was NASCAR, they'd go back and re-look at that.
But he wanted that outside. He knew that's where, that's where the lead was going to come from. That's why I think he kind of backed off his qualifying a little bit.
Wow, yeah, 24, Frank DiMaggio just let him by. I was interested to see that battle, but again, we talk about this every week, Frank's going to take his time and be there at the end.
Yeah, another few laps here. These things are going to be skating around quite a bit.
Riley's under assault by the 42. I don't think he'll be able to pull him here because Riley will have the momentum on the outside. See, what I'm always afraid of right there, Dave, is when you're pushing somebody and they're in that high lane that they'll get a little bit loose and put too much wheel off the turn, get loose, and then smash me. But I guess you can't worry about that. You got to try to take the positions as you can.
Well, here coming off of 4, it's easier to get loose on the inside than it is on the outside.
As you see how he had to kind of check up because he doesn't have that full tracking. There goes the 42 around making contact with Riley. And it's just as we were talking about Ryan Nichols. He gets low on Riley. Riley just looks like he's clear. And then 42 has to check up. And that was exactly what I was talking about, Dave. The lap before our conversation, as we look at what he does here. Again, is when you're pushing it on the outside at Dover, he just gets loose.
Yeah, looks like he just got a little wiggle there,
yes.
just enough to move him over that, foot and a half.
That's one of my biggest fears racing here, and looks like 38 didn't get it too badly. 56 got it a lot. 42. Pace car's out. Sean Hughes in that 13 DC Solar Chevrolet is going to lead him out, and he's just going to go right from the get-go. Last week, everyone was dragging it out to the start, but here at the USRC Cup Series, the driver has the prerogative. Once that pace car goes out, he can go whenever he wants to, just like in iRacing officials, as he gets a pretty good jump, and the 420 is getting on the inside of 24.
Pretty much, I think, on the restarts, everybody's going to be going on that pace car, trying to get as big a jump as they can because, the track position is everything here. This is one of those tracks, where the fastest line is, coming onto that straight, you want to be right against that wall. But as you were saying earlier, it's that kind of track where you feel like you have traction and all of a sudden it just snaps loose on you. And that's the downfall of running that optimum line like so close to the wall. And the 9, yeah.
Oh, it's all good. I thought we had it load up. It was
Looks
swing though,
like
yeah. It was
Glenn
happening.
Wilson definitely has engine
160
trouble
coming
there.
down this stretch there.
I thought it was clear up by, and I was following you, and as soon as I saw the truck go over the track, I was on the brakes before I got the one. I just
It's the race to lap 100 for stage 2. The 13 DC Solar Chevrolet with Sean Hughes is going to take him out. Sean's going early every time. Every time. Not that he's going early. He's electing to go right from the get-go. Whereas last week's we were talking about a lot of these guys were waiting towards the start-finish line because they control the start and they could do whatever their prerogative is. His prerogative is to jump from the get-go, which I'm a big fan of because you can see that little distance he broke off on Thomas. Thomas is going to take, takes you some laps to get those back. That the people jump on you so quick. So
Yeah, they're looking for that, that little bit of extra running room, and controlling the start. That's the benefit of it. You can really stretch out that 2-3 car lead and have no pressure coming from behind. It's like he just started to get a little loose and push up in the center there.
Dave, I'm seeing a lot of these cars get loose. We see that number 67 Norgar Chevrolet of Joe Petrick coming off there, got a little bit loose. Let Sam kind of close up on him. But then he kind of pulled back away from him. And Sam makes a run at him again.
Well, that little battle right there, you're seeing the two different lines, They're both using two different lines, and they're both running fast,
Joe looks like he caught a lot of damage there. And Sam's car is looking relatively clean. Out in the backwood, there's not a lot of traffic, so he's kept that number 60 SR2 Chevrolet looking pretty good.
And uncommonly, we haven't seen any internet issues out of the number 60 car tonight.
This has been a solid connection by the number 60. So impressed. So as he comes off of turn 4, we're about to end stage 2.
first head.
All right, looks like Sean Hughes is going to get himself another win.
Checking in two.
He's really capitalizing on the bonus points tonight, and he really needs these bonus points because he's had a couple of weeks where he got caught up in just unfortunate incidents that he was just wrong place, wrong time.
That's right. So I'm guessing that Sean's going to go really, really early as soon as the pace car goes out. And if I'm Thomas, that's what I'll be banking on. And he got Thomas lulled up, and he took off.
I knew he was going to change it up a little bit. He was going to, let the pace car get fully in to kind of change up his timing.
Sean is just dominating on those restarts, man. And he's off again. Got their work cut out for him.
Thomas, being a little under the weather, he's doing a phenomenal job tonight. He's pretty much took over that second place and has been holding it for quite some time here.
Yeah, shout out to Thomas, who reached out to me this morning because he's pretty dang sick. And I think his intent was just to start and part, but he's going to see if he can soldier on through this and get himself a good finish, which he's put himself in a great position to do just that. Because, yeah, Dave, a lot of times James brought up a good point is lap cars aren't the lap car until they're the lap car, right? If that makes sense. As in, Just because you're about to lap a car does not make them a lap car, does not make them a situation where they have to yield any position to you, because that's not how it is in real life. Let's take out. Oh, we got a caution is out. I don't know if you knew this, Dave. I found the hotkey to find the wreck automatically. So that's A. If you're on camera and you hit A, you go right to where the wreck was. And looks like J.W. Miller's night continues. It looks like it's over for J.W. Miller. 33 is one of the fastest guys we got here. Is one of our newer guys. But just goes to show you, Dave, we got a lot of fast guys, but this track eats people up left and right. As we're about to go green here and try to finish out this 200 laps here at Dover in the USRC Cup Series. And Thomas is off. This time looks like the 24 got a little bit better of a start, but yeah, the 13.
Sean has got a really good jump there too as well. And he's going to be charging hard to take that lead spot.
And it kind of sounds like Thomas knows that he's not the fastest car out there, but he can have a really good points day.
And Sean is, you know, knowing Sean is a very patient, methodical driver. And it also, it can turn to be one of his downfalls. Yeah. Like if I was in his ear right now, I'd be telling him, get aggressive, pass, make the move, get it done now, you know, get by, set sail.
Yeah, he's a pretty fast driver. He's decent at PUBG. I mean, he's all right at PUBG. You know, he's not necessarily as good as me, but, you know, he tries his best, and it's adorable. Let's go ahead and clip that for Sean Hughes. Hopefully he goes back and watches that later, because that'll eat him up inside. As he's going inside of the 38 of Thomas Harmon. Look at the 24 right there. Frank's been sandbagging for the last 150 laps. And now he's going to make a push.
This is what I want to see Sean do. I want to see him dive it in there, get clear, and start to set sail, because Frank is peaking.
Sam's no longer, or Frank rather, is no longer saving tires. His momentum slightly got stopped by the 38. I think Frank's a lot faster. He's going to get held up, allow the 87 to get inside of Frank. That's not what he wants to see. Man, that's exactly what the 13 and 38 want to see. Those guys side by side. Frank seems very, gosh, I guess you'd say average tonight. I mean, I would love to run in the top 5 with these guys, so I don't mean that as any kind of disrespect. You know, for me, this would be a great run. I just don't know if I don't know if that team has the speed here at Dover to get himself a win.
Towards the beginning of the run, he was falling off more significant than Thomas Harmon. I don't know if he's trying to save some tires for the last, 15, 20 laps here to make a push, or what is going on in that 24 car here. He doesn't have any 38 damage on the car.
Let's see what happened with Thomas. Missed what happened with the 38 there. Oh, he was coming to pit lane, I think. No. Look, let's see what happened. Thomas, who's been fighting an illness all day, comes off and gets loose, Dave. Corrects it. Looks like once he corrects it, he says, let's just put 4 on it. Come on in. I'm kind of surprised the outside lane here. It seemed like last season. The 62 gets loose. Wow, he kept it off the wall. Barely nicked it. That is harder than it looks to stop that, because 9 times out of 10, I bang that wall trying to correct that.
That was an incredible save there.
Damn. So he comes off of turn 4. 1 lap to go. This race is about to be over. The USRC Cup Series at Dover, 200 laps. Sean Hughes is putting on a clinic.
Doing the trifecta.
5 seconds ahead of the next fastest car, and Frank DiMaggio you put 5 seconds back. That's quite a feat. He won stages 1, stages 2. And he's about to get himself a win here in the USRC Cup Series. Sean Hughes
Good one, Sean.
getting
Good
it
one.
done.
Good job.
Light him up, Sean. You deserve it, buddy. It's a good win. 100 laps, green flag racing.